I'm Mike Hatcher.
Hey folks, it's Ernie Pack.
I am Natalie Jones.
What's up, everybody? My name's Matt Warner.
Hey, I'm G-Man. You know what? I'm George Shoplin. I'm anybody you want me to be, but you know what? There's one thing I am. I'm part of the para movement. That's right. Feel it. Oh, feel it.
My name is Melody Knapp, and I am part of the para movement.
It's April, the Psychic Housewife from New Jersey, and I am part of the para movement.
Hashtag the para movement.
And I am part of the para movement.
And I'm part of the para movement.
I'm Sophia Tambrelli, and I'm part of the para movement.
Just wanted to talk real quick about the para movement that's going on in the world. It's all about para unity. It's about para family. It's about diversity like you'll see nowhere else. In the paranormal community, we got folks of all races, religions, sexual orientations, political beliefs, you name it. And we're spreading positivity, good vibes everywhere. So, hashtag the para movement. Join it, be a part of it, and everybody have a great day. Take care.
You're listening to Animal Paranormal Live, where we talk about all things paranormal. And now, here's your host, the Animal.
Are you ready?
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Animal, your host. You're on Animal Paranormal Live. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a special week. Usually I'm never on Tuesdays, but this is really cool because I have two amazing guests. But before I announce them, you know what comes up this Thursday, my favorite holiday, well, one of them, is Thanksgiving, where I get to stuff my face with turkey and mashed potatoes. My family's Italian, so my parents, they love to cook a lot. So my family's going to be feasted with a whole bunch of food. But yeah, it's exciting times, and I'm excited that we just get to all come together and just, celebrate a good meal with each other. And I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving. But other than that, enough about myself. I'm going to bring two amazing people that, that from the house in between, Kendall and Ver Walton. Hey. What's up?
What's up, Animal? How are you?
Oh, dude, man. Like I said, I'm waiting for that turkey to come, man. I'm waiting for it, man. It's going to be a good thing, man. I'm waiting for that food and just to stuff myself to death, pretty much.
What kind of turkey you do? Do you do a deep fried turkey? You do like some special?
Make my mouth. You see the drool coming from my mouth? Yeah. I get excited. Because the Italian, No, we just do a regular turkey in the oven. I love deep fried turkey. I'd love to do that. It takes a lot of time and stuff like that.
And
especially with, it is dangerous. I've heard of things here. I live in Florida, man, and I've heard some crazy things here in Florida people have done with their turkeys of things exploding and all that kind of fun stuff.
Always that.
So, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? What are you guys doing this week?
I don't know. What are you cooking, Farrah? She makes a wonderful, wonderful turkey.
We usually have a big feast and tons of food and desserts, and I have my, our family traditions. This year we're not getting together. Everybody's just kind of staying in their homes, and so I don't know. It's kind of like I don't know if you want to cook something huge for your laws. It'll be a mild, nice dinner.
Like half a turkey.
I'll still do half a turkey.
Half a turkey. You ever heard of that game called Among Us?
Yeah,
I love pumpkin pie
for you. One day we were to my sister's for Thanksgiving. We were so excited because she cooks amazing, and we're going there, and she calls us, emergency. I gotta take my husband to the emergency room. You gotta hurry up and grab their kid or nephew, and he had appendicitis.
Yeah,
so Thanksgiving was off. So we ended up with all the kids at McDonald's. We were the only ones.
It was pretty awesome.
They kept looking at us like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah.
Like, well, here we are. And the kids loved it though.
Isn't that like the Christmas story? It was like a Christmas story moment, where they all. It was pretty awesome. So maybe we'll do that again, like a McDonald's.
Just don't shoot your eye out. That's awesome, guys. So how's everything going? Like, I know you guys been like traveling a lot. I know you just, like you told me before, you guys just came back from a really awesome surprise trip.
Yeah, we went to the USS North Carolina, which was a Flu Mary event, and it was a lot of fun in Wilmington, North Carolina, right down the road from us. So we, Ray from Flu Mary reached out to us and said, "Hey, would you like to surprise some of the guys from Ghost Hunters?" And we said, "Heck yeah!" And we showed up, and Mustafa and Brian and Rochelle were there, and we just ran up on them and scared them. It was awesome.
I get to see Mustafa on the 12th.
Oh,
December
cool.
12th.
Yeah.
At Berkeley. I think it's at Berkeley up in Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Those guys are busy. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's just cool seeing them what they're doing and just the project. I know Rochelle and Brian, they're doing something pretty good. I know they have stuff going on YouTube right now, and they said I think they have like quite a few projects going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see
Staying busy and having fun.
Yeah. The Rochelle movement.
I need something like that with Animal or somebody,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was a hoot. We reconnected. I mean, we spent many months on the road together, so it was really cool to see everybody. And I also got to see one of the camera ops, Kyle Haggerty, who was on. I mean, shoot, we worked together for like eight years or something. So it was really cool. It was a good time. It was my first event that I've been to. I was always kind of curious what they're like, and it was really neat to kind of see what happens there. So it was a good event.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Where else have you guys been lately? I know you guys been doing a lot of stuff. I've been seeing on your page and stuff like that. Just been doing so much stuff.
Not that much.
Yeah.
I mean, we just got invited to, after the documentary, we got invited to a few locations and we couldn't resist.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And
Vera literally was like, she's feeling better now, and she's like, well, let's go check out some ghost hunting. I was like, okay, let's do it. So yeah, we actually got to ghost hunt together a few places.
It's funny because he's done it for so many years, and then he will be on the road, and I will do it by myself with friends and family. And then we never really got to do it together because you will come home from work and you'll be tired and just wanted to take a break, and you really didn't want to do it with me.
Yeah,
so I've always kind of like, I want to go investigating with you. Like,
there was
someday.
one time, there was a few times in Texas we got to go together, but
you were,
like I was literally like flying
serious.
in. It was like I literally flew in, went straight to the location that she was at, and then
he was scaring everybody. He was like hiding.
Oh man!
I don't know.
Popping out of the corner.
Come on, Kendall. But I took his parents once.
Yeah.
And they were amazing.
Yeah, my parents go ghost hunting. It's really
that's awesome. I wish my parents would go.
Fearless, and very like you just kind of like, what is that? Let's go find out what's that. I'm like, wait. It's like, that was amazing. It's one of my favorite memories, actually, investigating.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
It's in our blood.
Yeah, it's all about having fun and just having brothers and sisters alike.
Mm-hmm.
And you investigate with your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and my daughter, we're actually starting a TV series.
Awesome.
So it's just awesome because you see so much paranormal. A lot of adults, doing it, but you never see a lot with family orientation where it's like a father and a daughter, or a mother and a daughter, or a father son, or whatever, how it goes. But it's just awesome because my daughter, she's very sensitive to paranormal. Like my home is very active.
Really?
So like a lot of stuff happens here, and my daughter's like, "Did you hear that? Did you see that?" Like she'll come to me like almost every other day. Like she'll see something, and it's just cool that she's so interested. She's like, "Can I go to a haunted location with you? Can I do this with you?" So, and plus she's my buddy. She goes hunting with me. I'll never forget the first day I took her hunting, which was pretty fun. Well, she's my stepdaughter. She's not my actual daughter, but I took her hunting with me in the woods, and I never thought her reaction, because we went hog hunting, and hog hunting is like the most. It's exhilarating. It's like they'll chase you, and
that's like the real deal.
This happened to you.
I filmed that once in Hawaii, and it was intense.
It is intense.
I poked out my eye, actually. We were chasing this hog, and like I slid down an embankment. I had a big camera, and I ran right into the tree, and the stick hit me right in the eye.
God.
I was like, yeah, it man, we got into it. It was really crazy. And then they had the dogs, like the dogs that chase them, and they rounded them up, and then it was like the dogs got them, and then then it was, and then we had a wonderful feast.
You ate them?
They
did the pit, like they did the hole,
and then and they covered it with leaves.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was cool. It was for a Travel Channel show. That was really awesome.
That's really cool.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was just really cool to see my daughter seeing that first shot, with the hog going down, and I thought she was gonna get grossed out because we were skinning it, and all that and stuff, and she's like, "Food?" That's all she thought about. It's like she thought it was the coolest thing ever because she's like, "Oh, we're gonna cook this beast later."
Wow.
That's amazing.
Man, how old is she?
She's 12, gonna be 13 in January.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
So you'll get to meet her. Yeah, she's awesome. She has a big heart.
That's great, man. That's really cool. Sounds like you're right.
And my youngest one, she's more of a princess.
Oh,
she went hunting with me once, and she's like, "Yeah, this is boring."
How old is she?
She's 9.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, she's also sensitive. She also sees things and stuff, and sometimes she'll go sleep in her sister's room because she's scared of what happened. Seeing a shadow or something like that. Yeah. So.
But you probably show them how tough you are, and they embrace it.
Oh yeah, they're good kids. I love them. They're both redheads, so they both got some spice to them.
Aww. Good.
But yeah, I love my kids. They're cool. But yeah, you'll meet them. They're really a lot of good stuff. But anyways, how did you guys start in your film career? How did that become about?
Oh.
Filming. How did that become your passion of what you love to do?
Yeah. You want to go first?
Well,
yeah. Mine takes a little.
Yours is longer.
Yeah, mine's like, I think.
I mean, for me, it's been forever since I was in probably high school. That's when I started. Used to go into projects and just goof around with the cameras, and I love filming. I always loved that. I love production, theater production, which I did a lot of it growing up since I was a little girl, and then all the way until high school. And then I went to college, and I wanted to study filmmaking, but I got to practice with it, and I got to do some projects and everything there back home. But sadly, my family wasn't very supportive of that. They just plain told me, and not to talk bad about anybody, but they plain told me, that is a career for rich kids. And I think you need to be smart and choose something else that's, more appropriate for you. And that crushed me. I was like, what? So it was sad. I couldn't really keep going that career. So I needed to do something with computers because computers were like the future. And like, that's what I'm not that old. I'm not that old.
I'm not smart with computers.
Anyway, I've always kind of been in and out of the the entertainment business, so to speak, and I continued doing auditions and all kinds of stuff until I went an audition for GHA, and then I met Kendall, and then after that, it was like seeing an old love, not only him, but like the production side of everything. It was like, oh, I love this stuff. I loved it. So it was like a reconnection then. And then after that, it's been nonstop for us. Even though I kept working as a nurse, your career very much influenced, what I do now. And you've been my biggest teacher. So you sort of I've been trained by him, really. Like, we've been together for 10 years. And you take it over.
You're forgetting the best story of yours is she when she was in college.
Oh.
Like, I love this story. They it was their turn to do a film, and and they had to write it and do it, and of course she chose like Ghost and Paranormal.
It was,
but it was like true filmmaking where like you don't have much and you're like
zero budget
and you're doing it.
I had my best friend let me borrow her little sisters, and I wanted to do a little short film about two girls, they're like super, kind of dare each other with friends, and they got there and they're going to this haunted house, and they needed to go all the way to the attic and then back down. And then from the moment they entered to the way of the attic, they encountered these different situations, and one of them were the staircase on fire.
What?
And on fire. Oh my God, that was my grandma's house, which she used to rent.
Do not do this at home.
No.
Do not condone this.
At that time, there was nobody renting it. So I was like, hey, Grandma, can you let me borrow your house for a short film? And I didn't tell her what I was gonna do. Yes, sure, darling. And I'm like, all right. So I go and I lit the freaking stairs on fire, and I don't even know how. I didn't things. I had my sister pretend to be a hanging woman. I did the whole special, everything. It was just crazy. This is crazy, super corny, super cheesy short film, but with tons of love and passion. And so my team was supposed to edit it, and freaking, I don't even want to say his name till this day. I'm like, he burns me. He deleted everything I did. Everything, and just left the sound. So I was in tears. And back then, stupid, little naive, totally green, didn't do like 2 copies of it. You told me that the time.
Back it up.
Have another copy. Anyway, it was gone, and I just got the sound. And did my presentation. My teacher felt so sorry for me that he still gave me a pretty good grade because I was able to show my talents on my other teammates' films. I was also participating in their films, and their films were awesome. So that's my story.
I love that story.
That's my story.
I think that's like the true film.
But when I got the opportunity to do a real dog, I was like, oh my gosh, I really let me help you. And first, he was a little bit like, I don't know, you're gonna have to prove yourself, and he tested me a ton. He was pretty tough on me. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't easy to gain his trust. But could you say that I'm okay?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that doc thrived because of you. Yeah,
it was it was tough. It is not easy working with your spouse. It's not easy because you kind of have to put the spouse element to the side, and now you are in a workplace, in an environment where he was my EP, my executive producer, and as much as the wife wanted to be like, it has to be this way, I have to be okay, how about this way, and then if he said no, it was no. and I had to abide by that. And we literally will say, okay, it's time to clock out. It's time to go back to husband and wife, mommy and dad.
I think that's the hardest thing is clocking out.
It was very, very hard, but I mean, we managed.
Yeah.
Anyway, go back to your story. How did you get into the?
Geez, yeah, I love your story. Mine started when I was very young, probably. Gosh, I was 12 years old. My buddy Ryan had a video camera, and we would take that everywhere on adventures. I mean, literally, we'd film everything. We'd pass the camera around, and we slept in graveyards, and we snuck into like crazy abandoned buildings. And back then there was no name for any of this, and we filmed it. We had a little like tape recorder where we like document like play by play. Right now we just ran from like, we ding dong ditched this house and we just ran from it. So like, it's always been like, we've kind of been like, kind of like.
You were like the jackass before that TV show. Yeah, mean, you were doing pranks before pranks were a thing on YouTube. Like, I've seen some of those old tapes and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, we
like,
got some fun stuff.
Like,
but that kind of got my interest in camera. But what really kind of took off for me is I was obsessed with skateboarding, and skateboarding was like my passion when I was younger, and it was an expression of like just creativity. And I realized right away that like I could be creative on a skateboard. But then I met snowboarding, and that was like, oh my gosh. I mean, when you do something and you just vibrate with it for the first time, it's what you want to do the rest of your life. And that's how I felt with snowboarding. And I started snowboarding, and again, we're passing the camera and filming everything in snowboarding. And I met some people. I moved out to Colorado and was trying to be a professional snowboarder. I got to do some really cool stuff in snowboarding. I ended up being a pro snowboarder, and it kind of opened up some doors for me as far as like the media. Like my friend from ESPN, this guy Mike Gordon, who was like a mentor for me, just invited me along to do interviews, and he really took me under his wing and showed me a lot of stuff. And I just, snowboarding started to kind of fizzle out for me. I got hurt real bad, fractured my face, I fractured my arm, I exploded my body. and so, I knew I couldn't do that forever. And I remember going, well, this is like being a stuntman. I was like, and so I went into trying to be a stuntman, and I literally went to like stunt school and got trained as a stuntman and lit on fire and fighting for film and like the air ram and all this stuff. And I'll never forget the stunt school teacher. He was like, don't be afraid to get behind the camera. They have an awesome job, like that Steadicam guy makes like, I think he's like, he makes thousands of dollars. And I was like, well, man, that's pretty cool. I should think about that. And then my buddy just kind of invited me on these interviews and stuff, and the camera just kind of chose me. It took off. I mean, and then I was I moved to LA to be a stunt guy. I was trying to do that, and I learned right away that the camera stuff just kind of like worked out for me. And then the stunt stuff actually helped out in the camera work later on, because I became kind of like an adventure camera guy.
Well, especially for reality TV when you're like on the
show. It was right at the cusp of reality TV, so I got into it then, and then just I was filming a lot of action sports stuff, so I kind of spawned over into the action sports world. And then I'll never forget, I just finished up. I did editing too. I used to edit and do graphics and stuff. And I just finished some graphics for this band called Stain, which it was like the biggest gig I ever got, and it was awesome. And I just wanted to keep it going. I was I was parking cars, valet parking, and I wanted to keep going with the camera and editing and filmmaking stuff. And I started going on Craigslist, and that's when I saw an ad that says, "Ghost show gearing up quick." And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I like ghost stuff. I had some experiences in the past. And that's when I applied. I sent my demo reel via FedEx and my resume, and they called me like that week, and I was hired like literally about a week later, and then I was getting on a plane to Savannah, Georgia, 2 days after I was hired, and that's when I started Ghost Hunters, and that's when I found what that next thing in my life was, and I just stuck to it. It's been fun ever since.
That's awesome. I love your guys' story. Like filming to me, like I just started doing filming. I bought a whole bunch of filming equipment and stuff like that, and it's just amazing. You tell this beautiful story. You know, it doesn't matter if you're behind the camera or in front of the camera. It's just so beautiful to me that you get to work. You know, all this amazing movie magic. It's just really cool the product that comes at the end of what you're doing.
Yeah, the payoff, watching your hard work on a screen, even if it, on the iPhone, the iPad, wherever it is, seeing it all together and hearing the music and listening to it's just, and also the process along the way is just really, really awesome. I mean, there's so many people that you work with on these things and these projects and whatnot, and it's just really great to work with people and get to know their skill and their trade and their input and their creative and and putting yourself around people that are creative. I love the whole process of it, especially documentary filmmaking. I mean, it's just,
I love documentaries.
So just raw and so just free from just from any kind of formats or just anything really. I mean, creativity's through the roof. So
heck yeah, you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
I love both scripted and non-scripted. I've always been exposed to scripted before, so you say documentaries, that was actually super intimidating for me at first because I was like, oh, what do you mean, And you go in there. I'm a planner and a list type of person. And with documentaries, a lot of times you just kind of go with it, and that terrified me. I was like, no, what do you mean? But it's amazing when you see things just kind of falling into place, and it's telling its own story, and it's beautiful.
Well, it was awesome when I worked on the project last year on a documentary. Like they had a whole script out, and to remember lines and all that stuff, and something beautiful came out of it where it went off script. And it was really cool because it's they weren't expecting that to happen, and they added to that documentary. So it's really cool when you discover new stuff that you never thought was going to be on script before, So it's just really cool to catch that amazing film, even though it's a couple of more, minutes of the film. It's still worth it to add to it because it just catches, the amazingness of that story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's fun.
Talking about stuntman, man. If I was a stuntman, I'd dress up as Bigfoot. That's what would be my dream.
Nice.
That would be my dream as a stuntman. Just saying. But anyways, I want to talk about The House in Between, man.
Yeah.
Awesome talk about documentaries. Awesome documentary.
Thank you.
Number one, my favorite scene of that whole thing was the ball rolling down the stairs. And I just before we go to the ball going down the stairs, because I know it caught. There was a scene where the ball was going down, and you were like, what's I think it was towards the end of the show, was it? Where it just caught you.
Oh, it totally got me excited. Yeah, I was skipping and jumping and.
We would wrap.
Yeah, it was wrapped up, and we were just kind of getting the final boxes all wrapped up. I think I was packing up the final things and trying to rushing to get the camera gear sent off, and it was everything that those guys had talked about for months, during pre-production and in production in the field, all bottled up happened in that one moment. And
thank goodness for the DVR.
And thank goodness for that DVR. And Brad, really, that morning he went in and we had taken the camera and used it as another camera. We twisted it towards the couches. And Brad knows the house, knows the cameras. He went in and put it back on the ball, and then that's why we captured that, and then
it would have been gone.
and then the event after the ball was fascinating as well. I mean, it was just like really cool when you have a multiple event happen and it's all captured. Oh.
Yeah, it's just amazing when you get stuff like that.
Yeah.
How did it all started for you guys to get onto such a really unique project?
Yeah, so we had just started Robot Ninja Media, our production company, and we were kind of we're looking for we were doing branded content and looking for our next project, and it's kind of putting some feelers out, and I Steve Gonzalez, him and I had worked together for years. He contacted me, and we started talking about this little house in Mississippi, and he piqued my interest when he said I had an experience there, and I think after that we started like having meetings with Alice and John and Brad and finding out about their story more, and we just dove headfirst into the documentary. I mean, we started, I think, after those phone calls. It was just a few months after that we were out there filming. So yeah, we knew that it was a really interesting story, and with the documentary going in, we weren't exactly sure what the story was. I mean, we knew what it was, but we didn't really know exactly what exactly we were gonna put together. And it was just so fascinating to see the documentary unfold as it happened. And that was the first time I was able to document something like that.
Yeah.
Freedom of that. Yeah. So I mean, we really just followed the action, and you get that. The reason why you get the sense of what a real paranormal investigation feels like is because it was, and we just documented it the best we could.
Wow, heck yeah, man. Did you guys have any experiences yourself in that house, like in between takes and stuff like that?
Minor things. One of them, the first one that comes to mind is when I first arrived to the house and Kendall had been there, and I was a little nervous, but then Kendall goes to the chandelier and he goes, "Why don't you just, hey, house, just give a little wink to Vera." And the light, I kid you not, the chandelier goes, and I'm like, oh, like, okay. Because one of the claims, I mean, that chandelier responds on command.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's crazy.
Mine, a lot of mine was on camera, like the smoke alarm going off during Jill Morris, the psychic, talking about the place on fire and all these things about fire. I mean, the topic was fire. It was very direct, and all of a sudden the smoke alarm goes off. It chirps. It's like bloop, bloop, and it's like we hadn't heard that in production at all the whole time. Yeah. And like, it just kind of hit me. I was like, what the heck was that? Is that the smoke alarm? Like that's odd that it's like beeping right when we're talking about fire. I thought that was a really cool little moment there.
That's really cool. What's your favorite moment at that location?
Well, I had so many. Steve and I had a lot of fun, like late nights, like shooting B-roll. Like him and I shot some B-roll, and like we were cooking there. Alice's like cooking was amazing. She always had snacks for us. Yeah, everybody was just so nice, like a family, and it was really cool to like be in that environment and that energy. I really felt like that was part of it, just everybody's energy was so awesome. And Mary Alice was just so beautiful, and
Boys of Towns
records keeper. I mean, people don't know this, but she holds, I mean, everybody, the records of the whole town, she's like saved, like she's completely saved. There was records everywhere. I mean, they were all over the state, and she was able to consolidate them at the Heritage Room in Florence, and like she is solely in charge of that town's records for their history. And it's just fascinating to me that she has so much love and volunteers her time and does this out of the love of her heart for her town. I don't think people look at that and say, hey, like, good job. Like, she gave us so much. She gave us some of the best information and the most information that we could get about the town, and that came from Mary Alice. And she was a character. She was a hoot. She's like, she comes from a family of bootleggers or something. So
that's awesome.
She's awesome.
Adorable,
she is just so awesome. I'd go back to Florence just to hang out with her. She's just awesome. And then Alice, Alice is just like, she's just such a wonderful person, and her story deserves to be told, and told in the right way. And that was our job was to really just tell her story the best that we possibly could, and really give Alice justice, because her situation is, it's such a real situation where you have somebody that's had a paranormal experience of that caliber that has completely moved out of their dream home, and she still owns it and was willing to.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Be so open-minded. She hands the keys over to the paranormal investigators. Go ahead, figure out what's happening. Find it. Find it.
Does she ever go back to it? Like, she ever stay there? Or?
Yeah.
She won't stay alone.
She won't stay there at night alone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
Not really.
Not
for her.
Not for her, but are there people still investigating in there right now? Or?
Yeah. Not right now, isn't it?
Yeah, they investigate there. Yeah.
Other people?
Oh, other people? I think Brad and John have brought some people in. I know, like.
But it's not openly.
It's not open.
Publicly.
They're starting to though. I just saw today that I think they're doing some groups.
I'm sure they'll open it.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, it's been closed. I mean, it's been closed down for the film. I mean, it's continuing to film. I mean, it's under complete surveillance.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a bazillion cameras in there. So
now, are you guys thinking about doing a second documentary out of that house?
Yeah, a lot of people are asking that. Time will tell.
Awesome.
We'll see.
That'd be really cool. Yeah. So, is there anything new you guys are working on? Any new documentaries or new projects that are coming to life?
We're doing some branded content right now with a couple local businesses, and doing a lot of creative work. I would say
we're doing a lot of legwork early. It's a little too early to talk about projects.
Yeah,
but we are. We're working on them, and we are deep rooted in the paranormal, so we will be making more paranormal content. So
man.
Yeah, if you want to support us, you can go purchase a t-shirt on our website at robotninjamedia.com.
I need to get a t-shirt from that, and also a House in Between.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
it's really cool. I'm excited for what's going to happen with that project from the House in Between, and hopefully a second one will come through. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. Can't wait for your other projects, man. I'm excited to get to talk to you. This has been a long waiting to talk to you guys.
Yeah, you too, man. Yeah, I feel like we know you already.
I know.
I know. We talk online. It's like we finally get to see each other face to face. So
yeah. Hopefully we get to. Now that we're investigating, hopefully we get to investigate with you.
I know. Yeah. There's so many people that I've known now that I really want to investigate with.
Yeah, well, talk about investigate. Ernie just messaged me. He's like, "We're gonna miss you at Brushy Mountains."
I know.
That's me, Ernie.
Amazing location.
I know. That's
but also, can I say you forgot that you were so excited about it, and you booked, and you said okay without talking to your wife.
There was a lot.
And that's our little boy's birthday.
Whose birthday?
I forgot. Our kid's birthday.
Oh!
I was like, oh, do you know this is your son's birthday? You can traumatize him.
Yeah, he's still.
Yeah, my parents went ghost hunting on my birthday and left me,
Nah, that doesn't work too well.
that was a part of it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we're not. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But we're gonna circle back with you. Yeah. Definitely.
We got
and Denise, we love them.
It's about a cool location too. Yeah. I mean, we've seen it on TV. And remember you and I.
I know.
Like, wow,
I was like, dang, that's
what a challenge to film such a big location.
Big, huge location. Yeah.
I've never been there. I can't wait to see it. Is it so? It's a penitentiary, right?
Yeah.
Hershey Mountain Penitentiary.
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
one, and it just look cool.
Yeah, it's got the look for sure. You get lost.
Yeah, man.
That's my favorite thing is exploring. I love getting
Right.
down in tunnels and like going cruising around, going places I'm not really supposed to be, and all that.
I just love chilling on a location, just sitting there and just be quiet and just like listen.
Feeling it out.
Because like you can have all the machine in the world and all that. It's cool to have like some toys and stuff too to play with.
Yeah.
To catch some amazing evidence, but just sitting there and just feel out the place. That's like my favorite tool that I love to use is just chill.
I've heard a lot of people recently that they're going back to the method of just being in the moment and just using your senses and you think, to kind of like explore instead of like trying to depend on a lot of devices.
Well, yeah, I've been having trouble with because I'll use an EMF detector, and a lot of times I've been getting like, it's going off. But then I realized my phone is going off the same time the EMF detector is going off.
Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes it could trick you with stuff like that. So, like like I said, it's cool to have all the cool gadgets, and sometimes for show on television they use all the gadgets for show and stuff like that. But it's cool, but like me, I like old school, just sitting there and just seeing what happens, and an EVP recorder. Of course, you can't go without that.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I still get, oh my gosh, I mean, I've done this for so long, and you still get goosebumps when you hear that random EVP, and you're like, nobody else was there.
Yeah.
There's no way that was somebody's stomach. It's a clear voice saying a word. And I still get like, You're more visual, I guess.
I'm visual, yeah. I
listen to this, and you're like, yeah. I'm like, you're more skeptical, I guess.
I am on EVPs. It's got to be a real good one to like go okay, but yeah, I mean.
But when you hear a voice,
that says like
a word,
tone
and you were there with me, nobody else was there. Like
even like we've heard accents in some, and that's really interesting when you hear like a cadence or an accent. And
I still not. I mean, it might not even be paranormal. It could be somebody outside. I don't know. I mean, some of them are so clear that you're like,
yeah. We got some crazy ones on the battleship just recently. I was like,
oh wow.
One we heard that it sounded like a werewolf. I was like, what? I'm still thinking it might be somebody's stomach.
That's
crazy. I was like,
it sounds hungry and it sounds like a wolf.
I think they were too embarrassed to admit, because nobody wanted to say, yeah, that was my stomach. So I was like,
it was pretty awesome, though. I mean, I was like, okay.
That was no EVP.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No way. That was, sorry, no paranormal.
Yeah, that could have
been.
Yeah.
I've had an awesome EVP at my house. We were doing, because I've had people told me, mediums told me there's a man here, which there is a man because I've seen him here. And we had a cool EVP that we did an investigation on here one night, and the guy said, "I'm hot."
Wow.
I'm hot, and it's just really, I'm hot. And then we found out. Then we got another one where we got some kind of lettering or something. It was weird, but we checked out the lettering, and it was a fire extinguisher company back in the. I think it was back in the 70s or something like that. It was just really cool how it all tied together and stuff like that.
So the name of a brand from the 70s? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it just said the abbreviation.
I like that stuff where it's like just off the wall. Like, how is that even possible?
It's just crazy. Like, to me, like, here's what I think. Like, here's where I take this. Like, is it actually a ghost? Or could it be time travel? Or could it be another dimension? I don't know.
Like,
Like, what's your guys' theory on that?
Oh,
we don't have one. Well, we're really, really loving the recent multidimensional approach. Some of these words are so clear, and some of these like experiences are so they don't even seem ghostly. Like it's like a ghost or a spirit. It's more like you're tapping into a different realm.
Yeah.
And some of it is so intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the interactions that I've had in the last few years, especially doing the documentary, and then some of the TV shows that I've been a part of. I just these things are very intelligent. Like it's almost to the point where it knows where I'm about to put a camera or where the camera's aiming or this or that. It's just so fascinating that something could know how to interact with you that like an energy. It's definitely an energy, whether a ghost is energy or what it is, something trapped. I don't think we're there yet, and I'll always kind of default to this because science has to catch up with what's going on. There's stuff happening. There's paranormal events happening. I mean, it's really
plenty of people experiencing this weird phenomenon, and why we need help.
And kudos to the people that are making devices out there to advance the field.
I know.
It's just in funding. I know it comes down to funding. Like, scientists, they look at things closer when there's funding, and there's.
I want to know what this is. Why there's so many videos with this, like.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, what is this?
What the heck? Why are they peeping? Why are they coming in and like looking?
And then they see the camera, and you're like.
They're like, oh,
well, that's what I'm wondering. Is it actually a dimension where,
I think that's
like, what if they're hearing weird noises down their hallway and they're coming up? What was that?
Well, like Brandon Alvis, I had him on the show, and he showed me. It was on the Queen Mary.
Yeah,
he showed me of evidence of something was peeping out when they were just checking around the ship.
Mm-hmm.
A freaking face just popping up out of the corner. Like from the doorway. It was freaking crazy as heck because I was like, it like knew that they were coming. Like, yeah, I mean, ghosts maybe, I don't know. But like alien, you could say it's aliens. You could say it's Bigfoot. You could say it's your grandma down the hallway. I don't know. But it's like
it's tough to say. I think we'd be kind of like closing the door on things if we say like it's just
it's this and
exactly
that's it.
This and that's it because okay, where is your solid, solid evidence proof? Like you just need it to be right there, and it's not there yet. And I think technology has to catch up. I think science has to catch up.
But it's interesting this pattern of this peekaboo. We call it this peekaboo ghost or whatever you want to call it. Like, what is that?
I mean, if I took 1% of every ghost story or paranormal story I've heard, that's like, and just said, okay, that's real. It's, there's thousands of stories out there. You take one and it's real, it's like, okay, now we have something going on here. Let's like focus on it and see what we're doing. And that's why, we love
throughout centuries, throughout history. I mean, we're just like one small generation.
And that's why we love talking to people like you because,
so many people.
Because I mean, the paranormal investigator is so invested
in
trying to prove this. And I love that. I love that people are making devices. They're, it's expensive to buy this gear.
It's very
spending tons of money on it. And like they're, going to these like locations on their own dime and traveling all these ways to try to experience
some of these locations are not cheap.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's kudos to the hardcore paranormal investigator out there hitting the streets. I mean, it's pretty awesome to see, all this evidence and some of it might be, but at least they're out there doing it. Some of it is fascinating. We shouldn't judge anybody's evidence. At least they're out there trying,
Yeah.
And I think that's very important.
Yeah, that's really good stuff, man. It's totally stoked. But, who knows? We may find out. We may never will. But the cool thing is we get to see all the cool gadgets they make and stuff like that. But anyways, man, I know we have a couple of minutes left, but what's your most favorite, scariest location?
I can't say it.
Or what has happened to you on that location?
I'll talk about mine on season 11. Gosh, I'm not sure the episode, but on Ghost Hunters, when I was a cameraman on Ghost Hunters, at the Dr. Physic house in Philadelphia, I had a cart, like a laundry cart, move from the corner of a room, probably 12 to 15 feet, and speed up and hit me. And I caught the tail end of it. And like that's still, I scratch my head to today. It scared me. It startled me pretty good.
Call me that night at 2 o'clock in the morning. What? I don't know what happened.
It was historic and it had a creepy basement, but it was other than that, it was, just that event that like was like, how that happened? How does something forcefully
you came back the next day by yourself.
Yeah, I wanted to see.
Try to disprove it and you couldn't. You couldn't.
I had to get it out of my head.
It really messed with your head. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was one of the more interesting moments.
I have a ton of them, but one that comes to mind that I can talk about right now is Ghost Hunters Academy. I was in Trans-Allegheny. We were in a room that is off of the main building. It's just like looks like a warehouse and it doesn't even look scary at all. But I remember, Steve Gonzalez saying this is one of my favorite places ever, and I'm like, ooh, must be good. And our flashlight were going in and out, all kinds of noises and stuff. And out of nowhere, I hear my name there, Vera, right behind me. And I was like, must be somebody. I wondered if somebody outside the window. And I ignored it. And then again, Vera. And I'm like, what? That's weird. And then I'm just kind of like not confused. I'm thinking, well, maybe it's the crew. And so I'm focusing on the crew, on their lips to see maybe they're telling me to move or something. The third time, it goes, Vera. Like, wow. Right on my ear. And I'm just like, my spine. I just a cat, like all scared, goosebumps everywhere. But the thing that got me is that nobody else heard it. Wow. Nobody heard it. So now I'm thinking I'm going crazy. So the next day we do analysis and he was caught on 2 digital recorders and the video camera. So in 3 times you can hear like all freaking creepy. So to me, that was great because it could have been just a simple personal experience that you just get ignored at, because how many of us have experiences that we get ignored at because nobody's like, yeah, whatever. And then at that time I was able to say, you see, I told you, I did hear it.
It's awesome when you can back up a personal experience with some kind of physical evidence.
Yeah,
and
then you have 1,000 questions like,
why
Vera?
What does that mean? What is going on there? I know. I think for us, like the longer we do, we're in this, the more questions we have to ask. It's not the other way around. You don't get answers. It just
more questions than answers.
It opens more and more, and you got to be okay with that. I think.
Yeah.
I remember first getting into this, 16 years ago or whatever, being like, okay, I'm gonna get on this and I'm gonna figure things out and learn completely what it is, and boy was I wrong. So yeah, it's just until there's, it's right there.
Never know.
And you can communicate directly or something. I don't know.
But I love it. Back in the day we didn't have this many podcasts, as many people talking to each other, sharing evidence, sharing tips and locations.
Yeah,
and I love it. I love it.
It's definitely furthering it fast. Cool.
Heck yeah. Before we head off live, what advice do you give to filmmakers out there that are just starting out?
Never give up.
Never give up.
Go for it.
Don't
do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
It sounds cliche.
Get out there.
And it sounds like
get out there.
Commercial,
yeah.
But
don't get caught up on because you don't have a red.
Oh
or
yeah,
you don't
that's
have,
a big one.
Shoot it with your cell phone. Whatever you got, just do it. Like
use what you have.
Don't let things hold you back.
If it's in your heart and you have a story to tell, just do it.
Just do it.
That's awesome, guys. Well, when we get off live here, we'll talk some more. Thank you, everybody. Sorry I couldn't answer all your questions, folks. I'm having trouble with comments, not seeing comments here. But if you have any comments for them, please post a comment on there. We love you guys.
Watch the House in Between is Prime now on Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon.
Yep.
Yes, please watch House in Between. You don't want to miss it. Awesome documentary. And also, don't eat too much turkey like I will do. Big mistake. But you guys have a blessed week, and we'll catch you on this Saturday. Peace.
Bye.